Guys, it's a really nasty day, but I thought I wanted to share with you something that I could not find any information on online. So here goes. If you have a Sirius XM radio module, a little faceplate, looks like this, already put into your car from the dealer. This thing is just the controller. It just has a control plug. There's no hardware here. You can actually use this as an auxiliary input, but in a lot simpler way than you think. That cord goes back through here, behind this cover, down. It might depend on the dealer if it was installed by the dealer, but it's going to go down and it's right behind this panel. I went through the trouble of taking everything off of here. It's not plugged into your radio or your CD player controller up here. It's actually just plugged in down beneath the dash. So you need to get to that area, you need a TX25 or a Torx T25. There's a screw that's right down here. And I've already unscrewed it, but you want to pull that out and then just pull down and then slide back towards the seat, driver's seat, and you're going to have to kind of bend it. Have to kind of bend the whole thing to slide it back over and out and just kind of work it out. You can see there's these kind of clamps or tabs right here and here, and a big one right here that hooks on here. Pull that out of the way. And what you'll see behind is kind of a bird's nest of wires, rat's nest of wires. And in that group, there is, I followed it, and there is a 3.5 millimeter jack. That's when I knew there was something here that I could use. So here's what you do next. Let's just make this as simple as possible. You want to remove this bellow right here. This just a little air for your air conditioner vents. And in my case, and hopefully in yours, you'll find that the XM radio module is hiding right here. It's just sticky tape to the carpet. So what you do, you just pry it off. I've already pried mine out. And you unplug your radio antenna, your XM radio antenna. It will also have that controller plug from the XM radio going in here. And it will have the power plug and your RCA outputs right here. These are plugged into the 3.5 millimeter jack. And again, it's all going to be stowed down here. You'll find it all. All you do is just unplug it all. Just unplug everything. You're not breaking anything here, so it's all reversible, really. Unplug the antenna and remove the module. Then what you do, and you can see the cord right here, you'll want to feed that 3.5 millimeter jack up through into here. This is the last bit here. So this was kind of weird. This, by the way, this faceplate, in my case, it's gonna pop out. It may break when you try to pry it out. That's your problem. Mine was kind of loose, so you can see right here, I've got a 3.5 millimeter jack. This is what was plugged into the car coming from the XM radio. So these were plugged in. Let's break this down here. So this is what is down below the dash right here. The XM radio had these two plugged in right here. And they went into this 3.5 millimeter jack, which went into the car. Okay? Here's what I had to do to make this work, though, because you can't just plug, for some reason, you can't just plug a male-to-male 3.5 millimeter into this. You need to actually go on the internet. I went to Monoprice because they have the best prices for all kinds of just random audio plugs, digital HDMI plugs, and I've used them for years. And I bought a female RCA left and right stereo to 3.5 millimeter jack. And then what I did, let's see, I plugged these back in from the 3.5 millimeter jack and effectively made a 3.5 to 3.5 millimeter jack. But for some reason, this worked. Before, if you just use the male to male, you actually won't get quality sound coming out of the car. You'll only get sound out of the two front speakers. I don't know why that's the case. I couldn't figure it out. So I tried this, and for some reason now I have full sound throughout. So that's kind of an important thing. Go to Monoprice, get one of these, and then you'll just want to plug both of these together. You want to plug it into your 3.5 millimeter jack, which, by the way, this is the exact same piece that you'll see in your center console if you've got it as an option, which I did not. I tried adding this through a central wire harness underneath the dash. So I took apart this whole central console, added this plug in that went all the way up through here, connected to the ignition and the shifter, and it did not work. It didn't do anything. I talked to a Saab mechanic. He said, yeah, there's no way that's going to work. So if you have an XM radio, unplug that XM radio module, and you should find that it's just connected directly into the car through a 3.5 millimeter jack. Connect this in. Tuck this back in here. And you could drill a neat little hole or whatever and hide this cord better than I did. But from here, you just plug it into your phone, or if you still have an awesome iPod MP3 player, and you've got music through your whole car system. The only other step you'll need to do is, and the car's not on, so I can't really show you, but it's not that hard. Turn on your radio. Let's see if I can. Oh, I can. You'll want to go down to disk.
Temperatures overnight.
And then go to disk media. Oh man, this knob is so wonky when it's cold. Let's see if I can find it. It's like Wheel of Fortune here. Okay, disk media, and then you'll see CDX front and auxiliary front. You'll notice if you have the XM radio, you can only listen to XM radio if this setting is enabled, and that's what put me onto the idea that this is just all connected into an auxiliary input somewhere. So it's already enabled. You don't need to go to the dealership or anything. Just go to auxiliary input, and it'll say play right here, and it'll say play up here, and it'll say aux. After that, just reverse the installation. You'll just want to kind of tuck everything back in, put that bellow back in, slide that panel back on, put the screw over it, and you'll have auxiliary input, no modifications, no dealership visits, no reprogramming, nothing. I haven't found anything about this on the internet, as I said, so I had to do it on my own, and it's an awesome find. So hopefully this helps a lot of you guys. If you have the Sirius satellite radio module, hopefully this helps you guys out, and you can enjoy some good quality sounding music instead of having to use an FM transmitter or something like that. Thanks, guys.